Hello, 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 and welcome back to a brand new episode of Queen Versus. Indya.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Just good.
Well, we've got some stuff to talk about. We did a little bit of interviews at Pride.
At Norman Pride.
Yeah, we got people talking and chit-chatting. And so we wanted to show y'all some things people wanted to talk about and then have our own little conversation about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
So we're
it's going to be interesting.
dive straight into
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's dive gay into it.
Get into it, yeah.
Take a look.
So what does pride mean to you?
Pride means a lot to me, being able to be myself, like not having to hide anything. In especially a state of like Oklahoma.
Being seen. I grew up in a household that was very religious, and I was not able to be my authentic self. And so for me, it's being able to be who I am out in the open and be accepted by random people.
I feel like it is a space where people can be their most authentic selves. I think that's really important, especially in today's society, that we can be who we are. So it doesn't matter if you're trans, if you're gay and a drag queen like me, or if you're queer, whatever you are, you can be who you are and have a good time with it. That's kind of my version of pride.
Yeah, pride is really important. I think the biggest thing for pride and for like the outside looking in, people need to be seen. They need to be seen and they need to see people that are like them. And I think that visual in itself, like when you're like either coming from like over the hill or walking up to Pride, you see a bunch of people that look like you or celebrate the thing that you are celebrating. And so it just invites a sense of welcome and, you know, kind of open arms. So I think it's like, yeah, being seen for sure is one of the biggest reasons of why like Pride is just so important to have and to continue to have.
Yeah, visibility is important. Like you say, walking over the hill, you see two drag queens. You said, wow, they're dressed crazy as hell. I can be myself here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're talking about, you know, growing up religious and having to hide parts of yourself and finally like letting that out and then feeling a space that's comfortable to do that is so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because having an outlet is invaluable.
Right.
Truly.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but like my first time going to Pride, like I honestly felt my shoulders like touching my ears.
Nervous.
Because I was just nervous and I was just so scared. And I was like, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But then after seeing, you know, all that there is to see at a Pride event, that feeling just goes away and your shoulders drop and you just feel more comfortable and you feel more at home and then you feel safe with these people.
Yeah. I remember going to my first one with a lesbian friend of mine and we were walking around and I was terrified. People were taking pictures and there was like a news crew with cameras and I was like, I can't.
You're like, they're going to see me.
Yeah. Literally terrified, you know, because you were like trying to live authentically, but still trying to. And I think that too is a thing people don't really realize, that while there are so many people living authentically at Pride, there's also people who are there attempting to, or they're trying to, you know, get to where they can be, but they're still, I'm just an ally. I'm not gay, you know, but like secretly they're working their way up to it and letting them come and feel comfortable and feel like they belong. And you want to you're an ally, you're here and you're accepted. If there's more to it than that, you know, we're here for when you're ready to be that as well. Yeah. And so I think there's just so many layers to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, my name is Tanya Dash, and I'm representing St. Michael's Episcopal Church here in Norman. We are very supportive of the community. We have members of our church that are with the community, so we are all arms. Everybody eats at our table. So.
Have you encountered anybody kind of grappling with religious trauma and kind of reconciling that with an affirming church?
Let her talk about that.
My uncle and aunt are priests, but they're Christian priests, so their beliefs are more, you know, being gay is a sin, and they believe that the Bible is kind of against that. I was kind of like taught that growing up, and so when I came over here and I joined the church, I kind of slowly realized that all the stuff that they were teaching me was kind of wrong, and all the things that I was like mentally like taking and holding within me was kind of, you know, not true, and I didn't have to be afraid of who I am and like be afraid of going to hell for that kind of stuff. When I see other people expressing themselves, I can feel like I can express myself too. So being a part of it and having everyone welcome me, even when I was one of the haters, one of the people who really hated the queer community for a long time, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and that felt awesome.
And this is a whole different aspect, having like full on indoctrinated trauma,
Oh, for sure.
unlearning and letting go of like a full fear of being punished eternally because you happen to be queer in some way. Maybe that's my story. I feel that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people do tend to have that similar background. And sometimes it was alarming to see churches at Pride, because it's like the idea of a church being not protesting a pride, but being involved in a pride. For a very long time, I couldn't wrap my mind around it because of what I was taught, what was like, kind of like instilled into me of, what I was taught to believe to be true. There was like this mental block that wouldn't allow me to see that people could be religious and accepting of everyone. And so it's nice to see that some churches have, stepped into the light in terms of like, actually believing what is to be true and what is not being fabricated to push a certain agenda.
Yeah, it's extremely important to have space for that. Like, people are genuinely suffering from this idea that queer people are evil, and like they truly believe it. They can be queer themselves, and they truly believe that they are evil or broken. And time and time again, they are on the opposition of it. They're the protesters, or they're the people who are angry. And then time and time again, they come around to it, and then they are involved in the very thing they were mad about.
Right.
And people don't hold a grudge against them. Like, it's true. Like, they're welcomed into the Pride celebrations. Nobody's still mad at you.
Right.
Nobody's upset with you. We all had that, especially in Oklahoma church on every corner. We all have some semblance of that religious trauma, that self-hatred, that self-loathing that made us feel some type of way about gay people. So I get where you're coming from when you are mad at gay people. You're
right.
And just pissed because secretly, this is your life. It's supposed to be your life. This is where you're supposed to be headed, self-acceptance, and they're running in the opposite direction. They don't make it okay. Now it's not okay.
Right.
And at this moment in time, I will fist fight you, and you can make up for it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Right.
After the final punches have been thrown.
Right. But then,
sure,
come out and celebrate.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll buy you a shot.
Yeah.
Something.
Welcome, baby.
Yeah,
Remember that time we broke your nose?
Yeah.
Oh, water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge,
If you're going to let me down. Just an episode of singing today. That was Adele.
I saw.
Spirit of Adele coming out of me.
Yeah.
Don't look British.
Your eyes rolled back. Yeah.
Why do you feel Pride is important now?
Some people just don't feel safe right now, and it's a shame. And I hope that it spurs people to be a little more open and not hide.
So what does Pride mean to you?
Pride means being authentically yourself at all times, no matter what anybody has to say or think about it. It is a more difficult time than ever to be an openly queer person in any part of the United States, never mind Oklahoma. And the best thing you can do when you are faced with that is to push back and not listen to what anybody has to say, because the minute we get quiet is the minute that we lose. And that is not something we can afford to do, not in 2026.
But what you're saying is true about staying loud, and if they can get you to the point, because it's coming to a point, where if they can keep you in limbo, trying to fight every day, and you start losing your voice, that is how they can seclude you and win. They can beat you.
Absolutely. And I also think, like, to add to that, another thing that makes Pride so important, it almost acts as a yearly reset for us. It gives us more energy, and it gives us more passion, and it helps us feel like we are not alone, because then we come to this event and then we see that, oh yeah, these are the people that I am fighting for, or these are the people that are fighting for me, and we're all fighting for each other to be seen, heard, valued, and also respected. And so you kind of get that, once pride tends to roll around, we start to get the feeling of burnout and we get tired, and it's like, is this going to be, my life, or is it going to get worse from here? But then you get to pride, and then that flame is just reignited, and then you go back out and you're like, you know what, I can do this because I'm not doing it alone.
Yeah, you say reset. I'm thinking you spend the entire year preparing yourself, saving up as much energy as you can for that last little push, and then you said, okay, we got 1 year to prepare.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like focusing in on it and making it known that you have to be paying attention, you have to be present, and you have to go to these things too. Like it is in and of itself this eye-opening moment of seeing all these people around you, being visible, and making sure people know that there is people in your town who are like you. Yeah. There are people nearby who think like you. There are people in your town with organizations dedicated to making change in things that affect your life specifically.
Yeah.
And I find that to be so important.
Is pride in danger?
I believe so. I don't think people understand the value of what pride means, of being seen, and it's okay to be who you are. I think people take it for granted. And that's why it's in trouble.
Do you feel that pride is in danger?
Yes, 100%. Yes. It seems very much like a lot of the people in power don't want events like this happening because we are not the normals. We are abnormal and not okay and very wrong, and that's not okay. We aren't doing anybody any harm by being here. All we are doing is supporting the other people that are like us. Right. You want to be a different type of person, you go be a different type of person. I'm not doing anything to shove it down your throat, so just don't do that to me, please.
That's the thing, is when we come together and we want to legislate and we want to provide progress, our rights are additive, right? Everybody gets to do what they want to do. Every time they want to progress, their rights are subtractive. Yes. If they progress, we lose something. Yes. But if we progress, we all benefit. Yes. And so I think getting people to understand that would be incredible. So y'all got to fight ahead of you. I know y'all do. Yes. But thank y'all for doing it.
Yes. So we're trying. We're going to do what we can.
Absolutely.
Yes. Also, in that same breath of pride being in danger, pride itself is a protest. And the importance of continuing to have pride is to also fight the oppressors that are wanting to take that away from us. Legislation and the current administration is continuing for a push to have certain rights taken away from us, or certain practices, or certain even demonstrations, to make it illegal to have said demonstrations in public. And they are attacking pride. Are they doing it directly? No, it's very indirect, and it's beating around the bush about it. But we all know who they are attacking and why they are attacking it, because we get things done. We get things done when we are in large amounts of numbers. To me, it's a no-brainer if that question being, is pride in danger? Absolutely, because like I said, we are strong in numbers.
It's not even a question. It's just true. We record number of anti-LGBTQ plus bills. The president of the United States literally said, if you are radically pro-trans, I'm going to find you and kill you.
Right.
Like this, we're past the point of, I wonder if they, are going to come for gay people. The president said he's going to murder you if you are pro-transgender.
Right.
Like that, how do we go to work tomorrow? Like, how do you continue on tomorrow knowing that the president threatened to murder people? Like,
right.
What happened? Like in the past, the president would do something silly or weird, and people would spend months talking about it.
Right. Would have an affair and spend months.
That we're still talking about. People still write songs about it, jokes about it.
Right.
And the president said he wants to murder you if you are pro-transgender.
Yeah.
And people are like, what's still going to happen tomorrow? You know, what else is on the menu?
You're right.
No, stop the entire world.
Yeah.
Stop literally everything because we are in unimaginable danger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you are in the midst of planning a pride.
Yeah.
And so you speak on if pride is in danger.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because they're pulling dollars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, prior to me even coming into this position, I couldn't think that, you know, pride being so popular would be a huge downfall. But we've become so reliant on pride having these big, huge events or decorations and music and things like that. And so because we were in season or we were trending at the time. And so all of these companies were putting pride flags on everything, on all of their products and all that kind of stuff. And so we got this boost of, you know, financial gain from these companies because they were making money off of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then with this new administration, now all of your larger companies won't support. They won't align themselves. And so then prides don't look the same. And so then we've become so conditioned to seeing pride being that big that a small pride means that some people aren't successful.
It's boring.
It's boring.
Not fun.
Or it's not fun. But it was never meant to be fun. We had fun doing it, but it was never meant to be fun. It was meant to be a protest against administrations that wanted to hinder us or belittle us or make us smaller or eradicate us.
The enjoyment is coming from being surrounded by people who are like you.
Right, and having the same mission, the same goal.
It's being still alive is for a lot of people.
Right.
That would be a game changer for a lot of the gay people who came before us. Just being alive at a parade would be for them, you know, a blessing because too many people lost their lives from anti-queer agendas. Corporate pride, that money was helpful, right? It gave people these big celebrations and made us visible. But now it is not popular to give money to pride because people are like, I'm not going to shop there because y'all are supporting the queer people. You know?
Absolutely.
That's got to be the game that we play.
Right, exactly.
I'm talking not spending a dime because there's a lot of bars who still serve Coors Light, you know, they still serve these who have a mission of being anti-queer, and they still got this beer in their bar because it's cheap and people like to buy it. Y'all got to have conviction. It has to be a collective effort.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I will not spend a dime at Target ever again.
Yeah,
just because there is no redeem. I don't want you to mess up and then say, "Oh, damn, I'm gonna do better next time." When you're that big, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done with that. You don't make a misstep like that and gain your consumer base back. Like that is not a time for forgiveness. I want somebody to replace you. Somebody the other day was talking about food catered from Chick-fil-A, and I'm not eating it. They said, "Well, it's already paid for." I don't give a fuck. Out of my own moral obligation, I will not eat that food. I will
starve. I will starve.
Right, and I think too many people think that it's not that deep, but it is that deep.
It is that deep because if it wasn't that deep, then it wouldn't be the main agenda of the current administration.
They don't see you as a person, so why give them your money?
Correct.
And I understand that no matter how you spend, it is unethical in America, right?
But you can be intentional about it.
Right. You've got to make choices and somebody's got to suffer, so we might as well choose the same one together.
Right.
And like that's the point, is making them, they're all bad. It's capitalism. Everybody's fucked up. But we choose Target, just fuck them up. That way the next time, they don't make a misstep like that.
Right, or make an example out of them so that way future corporations can be like, now wait a minute, don't go fucking with them over there.
Right.
They'll rock your shit.
Yes. Yeah. Because if they're too good for gay dollars, for trans dollars, for black dollars, don't have them. Don't have them then.
Don't open up your doors because it will not last.
Right. Right.
It will not last.
That is I think the most important thing that we can take away from this is pride is in danger. There are people removing funding from pride. Not only is it legislated against, they're not giving money to it anymore. It's not popular. They don't like us.
Right.
Our money spends the same, and they don't even. Not only do the politicians hate us, the businesses see us as a liability.
Correct. Absolutely.
Keep your dollars in your pocket or put them where
they need to go, like in your community, into your like local resources, because the government is cutting funding for queer health, anything that relates to queer health. And, your local clinics, your local nonprofits and things like that need the community's help now more than ever because they're not getting it from the government anymore.
Right. All this research being cut, all this. You don't think that they're going to come for gay people in Pride? They came for children with cancer. They're fucking up children who have cancers, like research for children with cancer.
Right.
If that's not off limits,
and they don't
you think we're not off limits?
They don't give a fuck about us.
Right. Mama. Oh my God.
Question for you as Pride royalty.
Yes.
Do you believe that Pride is in danger?
Pride is in danger only if people stop caring about it and taking it seriously. Pride is an important part of our expression as queer people. The generations of queer people who came before us are the reason why we even get to be here today, and the minute that we stop fighting to continue that legacy is the minute that Pride becomes in danger. And it's fair to say that certain demographics of the queer community are perhaps the most in need of that representation more so than others. I think about trans people, non-binary people, queer, non-queer, people of color, where those intersecting identities all exist. Those are the demographics that are the most vulnerable and are the most in need of Pride to exist as an outlet, as an opportunity to find other like-minded people who you can feel safe around. Pride will only be in danger, fundamentally, if we stop caring about providing those spaces for authentic self-expression.
Now, with all that's going on in the world, do you feel any fear living as your authentic selves?
Me being queer and Native American, living in a white supremacy country, I feel like I'm targeted every day, but it's not gonna stop me from doing what I wanna do. Because at the end of the day, it's about who you love and it's about what you do.
I feel like it's really easy to be scared, but I feel like everyone should understand that we have a community that's gonna be there to support you and that's gonna push you in every step that you take. And you have backup. You have people who are going to be willing to be there for you and willing to help you when you need it. Yeah, it's just understanding that support system that you have that should make you feel like I'm strong, I can be who I am, and yeah.
Every time we do this, we are doing it, on the sacrifices of so many queer people, so many trans people, so many, all these people who had to fight and die.
Right.
And a lot of them didn't even get to live their lives because if you are too visible for a lot of people, then you are in danger. For a long time, you're in danger. You could turn off being gay. You couldn't turn off being trans. You couldn't turn off being a person of color. That's something that I think is important for people to learn about, is to recognize that you might not feel like you're in a whole lot of danger as, you just live your life as somebody who's not so visible. You just go walk around. So I don't even know if it's even that bad, but imagine being someone who is always something that people hate,
Right.
And I think that is important to think about while we're analyzing who's in danger.
Yeah.
Because as it stands now, we do have community, right? We do have a bunch of people who are behind us and who will push for us. We've got a whole group of people who will be there to fight because they have no other choice. They have no other choice to fight. And if we as white people, cis white people, don't jump in there and fight with them, we're not going to have them as out because they're going to go first.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're who they're coming for first. It's the people who are the most vulnerable. And so we're allies now, but if we let them take them, we have nothing left. They will come for us because I've too many gay people on social media talking about I'm cutting off the T from LGB. We don't need that. We just need to back to basics, back to normal. And they are going to come and they're going to eat your fairy ass.
Right.
They're going to beat the shit out of you.
Right. Or even those that are, I hate to give her a fucking platform, but Caitlyn Jenner is probably the worst of the worst. And she's allegedly a part of the community. However, she was all for the legislation that was against us until it affected her.
She wanted to complain about it.
She wanted to complain about it. Now it's a woe is me. And how could this be? And not only that, but it's the miseducation of it all in terms of her believing that Donald Trump is not behind it, but the people that work for him are. The statement in itself, I'm like, you dumb idiot.
Well, the thing is she's not stupid, right? She's an educated person, and she makes money on being what she is, which is a right-wing grifter. So she has cashed in on being a grifter, but what she was not counting on was that it would get so real. That she said, I'm gonna be exempt because I'm on their side. Their hate maybe isn't as real as we think it is, so I'm gonna be exempt from it. And she learned real quick.
Yeah, it's for everybody. They said all of you. All of you. And I like to, back to like what you were saying, I have to continuously remind myself that Pride is, we can say, it's a good time and it's fun, and people like to plan vacations around, Pride, and, people like to tour Pride, go on Pride tours. But I have to continuously remind myself that too many people had to die for us to have fun. And it is a very, very, very tough pill to swallow. But that is the reality that we have lived past tense, currently are living, because there are our trans brothers and sisters who are getting, targeted every time they wake up and leave their house. And then it is probably going to be our near future if nothing is done about it.
Right. Is Pride in danger? Maybe it always has been.
It always has been. It always has, but we stopped thinking of it.
Yeah.
And that's the issue.
That's the ultimate goal for, I think the queer people who did die for this. For them, it might have been comforting if they were able to hear that we got so far that gay people and queer people started forgetting to be scared.
Right.
For them, that might have been
lovely. That would have been a goal for them.
Right. But if we get too comfortable, things like this happen, right? We got too comfortable to now we've got conservative gay people. Like we've gone so far past just being comfortable because we're safe. It reminds me of anti-vaxxers. You eradicate a preventable disease and they're like, we're not even scared of it. It doesn't even work. It doesn't even exist. That's because we took care of it. Right. The anti-gay legislation, we were taking care of that.
Right.
And now y'all don't even believe it's real. And now it's coming back.
And now it's coming back. Yeah.
Right. Because y'all didn't want to get vaccinated over it.
Right. Absolutely.
And like I say, it used to be they would kill us in private. They would find a way to kill us without people looking.
Right.
They would get you in a hotel. They would get you in an alley. They would get you drunk at a bar, take you home, murder you. They would get you on a hookup app and kill you in their garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would find a way to kill queer people. And now it's public.
It's public. And they're loud about it. They are loud about it. They're not quiet about it. They once it happens, they will go out and celebrate.
Right. That it's this crazy taboo thing to kill your fellow American, right? No matter what they were, you can't murder people, and they go quiet. Right. And now they are actively on social media with unbanned accounts saying, Donald Trump, turn us loose. We want a day of reckoning on liberals, on trans people, on gay people.
Right.
Turn us loose. Let us take care of it. And then you have the president saying himself that he will murder you.
Right. And the man is not only, he's saying it so boldly and he's celebrating, but he is being celebrated.
Right.
By fellow Americans.
Because all the people who wanted to do it for so long and had to keep it a secret.
Right. And now they don't have to.
Yes. They can bring it to the light because our president wants to do it.
So why can't we?
Mm-hmm. We're just learning that we were never really safe.
Safe. Yeah, absolutely. We were just comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think drives the protesters to hate us?
I think ignorance. I think they were brought up thinking that, whatever the church told them is right, and they have not been outside their little bubble. And so what they don't know and what they're not used to scares them. And if they got outside their bubble and got a little educated and met people of all different backgrounds, then maybe they wouldn't be so afraid of it. I think they're scared. I think it's fear and hate, but hate comes from fear.
I think that it's just like fear conditioning, like conditioning of social narratives that keep people separate. There are these structures in place that allow people to feel superior, and I think that that's just like all a part of this design to keep us separate and like hating each other so that nobody can gain any real sense of like freedom or power, I guess.
They should be scared. No Tino, they should be scared.
No, absolutely.
I want them
terrified.
Yeah.
I want them to show up to a Pride event, and especially if they put themselves into the thick of it, in the middle of it, their head should be on a swivel, because they could be, at any given time. Yeah.
Well,
at any given time.
Because they're scared of the wrong thing. Y'all are scared of us for being gay. You should be scared of getting your shit rocked.
Right.
The thing is, when I say that, people are gasp. They say, oh my God, you advocate for physical violence? That's not what I said, first of all. Second of all, where does they stand your ground laws or whatever in Texas?
Right.
They say if you meet a trans person and you're so scared that you kill them, that's a legal defense, right? That's a legal defense. Or all of the president saying he's going to murder people, or his advisor saying to kill every single Latino person in the country. And I say, if you come here and try to antagonize people, I think you should be afraid for your safety. I'm not saying they should hurt you, but I'm saying you shouldn't feel bold enough to come out there and feel safe.
Right? No, absolutely.
Because right now they do.
Yeah, they do. They feel very comfortable, but also. It is not their fault because they are just sheep. However, yes, they are adults, but it is the fault of society in more ways than one, whether it be through media, whether it be through, the government passing anti-LGBTQIA plus laws and things like that. It's the constant message that's being put through the system of gay is wrong. Gay equals hell. Gay equals, declining population, which is not true, by the way. But it's this constant making queer people the center of the faults of this country is, one, a complete and total fallacy. And two, it's very easy for people who have zero education or lack thereof, or can't even read or do any sort of research, it's too easy for them to understand and comprehend. Because God forbid that the people that they trust and hold high on a pedestal be lying to them. No, we would rather place the blame on something that we can collectively hate and disagree with.
I do want to say there's an age that it is no longer an excuse to not know or understand.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that age is, but these are grown ass men out there pretending like not pretending, they're stupid. They are fucking stupid. They're idiots. They have they're deep. Let me tell you this story. I was talking to a lady we were at a little event, and I got too liberal, I think. We were talking about women being better at a lot of things than men, and I'm sorry. I said, I don't give a damn. You speak your truth.
Speak your truth.
And I said, it's funny to me because men I was reading a little article written about men are deeply submissive to authority figures. And I quoted, I said, men are deeply submissive to authority figures. You think about the army, they romanticize another man telling them what to do. They have these coaches that tell them how to live. That's like being a sports professional, are under these men telling them exactly what to do. And I thought maybe this is a safe time to talk about this, it was interesting to me. She was like, maybe, I guess I could maybe see that. I was like, oh, damn. Maybe I'm not in a safe space. Right, because it's not my opinion.
Yeah, it's not my opinion. It's what's happening.
Right. I don't think maybe men are deeply submissive. That is just true.
That is just true.
These men are out here because they have no thoughts of their own. They have a pastor tell them what to think and believe, and they send them on these missions, and they never for a second think, does this make sense?
Right.
Because if that were the case, their entire lives would unravel, and that to them is terrifying.
Right.
Because these strong men taking care of their families are not exactly what they seem to be. They are men who are victims and subject to a system that is designed to extract resources from them. Yeah. And the second they realize that, they've wasted their entire lives and they don't know what they can be.
Right. Yeah. By that time, it's too late.
Yeah. And to your second point about convincing them to hate, they hate gay people because they can put all their energy into one thing. It's crazy how all American roads lead back to Black history, because when you look back at the beginning of chattel slavery, they had indentured servants that had a contract, and they had African people they brought, right? And they said they're getting too close. We have to convince these poor white people that they're better. Right.
That they are better.
So this tried and true method of convincing people that your people who are on the same level as you, the people who live with you, your community members, you have to convince them that you're better than these people.
Right.
Because if you let them find out that we're all fighting the same fight for a better life, suddenly the people at the top are in danger.
Right.
They just keep doing this over and over and over again. And these fucking white Christian men keep fucking falling for it.
Well, it is not just them. It is any heterosexual male. And I will say that coming from the Black community, Black men are easily convinced that Black queer people are the problem. And maybe they will not be targeted as much if they treat Black queer people less than. Same thing when it comes to people of the Latin or Hispanic culture. They tend to treat queer people less than, because then maybe they won't be targeted as much if they turn their backs on their queer brethren. And then maybe, since we all go to the same church, since we all go to the same Catholic church, or since we all go to the same Southern Baptist church, then maybe, just maybe, we might be included on the other side. And that's never the case. Right. Because once they are done with us, if they haven't already tried to wipe us all out in one go, which is what they're trying to do, right, honestly. But some of these people, some of these straight Latinx people, some of the Black people in the community, they have fully turned their backs on what they believe and know to be true. And instead of voting how they should have for their community, they voted against queerness, because then that means that they will probably mark themselves safe. When in actual reality, they shot themselves in the foot and it made it harder for everyone.
Yeah. And it's a very intriguing thing to think about, people who should have an insight into like queer life and queer rights, all these different demographics. We should have common ground. Right. But it keeps boiling down to men being the problem.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
Masculinity, frail masculinity, and having to try to make up for it, trying to make sure that they're seen as real men who these like, I'm not effeminate, I'll kill a gay person,
Right.
But it also, there's like, it diverges and there's more nuance to it when you think about like Latinos people specifically. In a book called The Defectors, they talk about people who are immigrants, they're not born here. They immigrate here and they become right wing because they want so bad to fit in that they're willing to turn their backs on, their people who also want to come here and they're people of their own culture because they want so badly to assimilate to white culture. Right. And it doesn't work out in the long run.
Right. Also, there is no such thing as white culture.
We have The Voice.
Shit.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, okay, but she's invited.
Potato salad?
Nope, it's got raisins in it.
Not mine. I couldn't do raisins in a potato salad.
Nope.
That's evil. Even I know they're going to hell for that.
Yeah, right.
Now your booth, the Norman Pride booth is here.
Yes.
It was in between both of these protesters.
Yep.
And y'all saw you over here. You had a horn, and you were just chanting about love.
We were just trying to drown out the hate that was happening. So we were chanting, I say Norman, you say pride. Love is love. We're having a little dance party, blasting some music. Honestly, just having some fun to drown out all the hate that was happening. So
absolutely.
What do you think drives them to hate us so much?
I think that partly it's just their indoctrination, but I also think that they're out here to get a rise out of people ultimately. They post their content and try to get your information. So I think it's really, really important to know that when you see protesters like that, they're filming because they want to get a rise out of you. They want a physical altercation to happen.
Yes,
that's their goal. So really, ultimately, the best thing to do is just to be a little louder than them or to ignore them if that's your your mode of operation.
Play copyrighted
Be
music.
silly,
right, no,
play copyrighted music.
I love that because that makes them so mad because they can't use the content on YouTube.
And 9 times out of 10, like, you're not going to be able to convince them of anything. So
No.
arguing is often pointless. But
if you've gotten to the point where you would come and antagonize people who are so vulnerable already, there's not much you can do.
it's never
to
in good
convince
faith,
them.
you know.
Right. They're not here for a debate. They're here because their mind is made up, and they're so far past gone. Anything sort of them experiencing what they've dished out is not going to change their mind.
And their whole principle is based off of, it's emotion based. Their moral standpoint is all emotion based. There's no logic to it. So they would benefit great if we stoop down to that level. So just being logical and just, like you said, drowning out the noise.
They're just antagonizing.
They're just antagonizing. That's all it is. That's all it is. So good for you.
I mean, I said it in the video. Protesters are there to get a rise out of us because they would benefit greatly from us being aggressive or being the aggressors as, the ones to attack first. But that's all that they have because the logic that they seem to present or that they seem to have is not logic based at all. And it's what they were told, or it's what they, they've only done research that would benefit to their propaganda. Or in your case, and what you said prior, they're so submissive to the administration that's what they believe to be true, even though that the administration is lying to us and has been lying to us since right before they got into office, or since they were in office the first time. But that's why they are there, and it's all to drive the anger and the emotion to get a rise because they are recording. They are recording because then they can get their, 15 minutes of fame very quick. Oh, look at me. And then once they become a victim, then they become famous.
Right.
Because they were a victim of some queer individual assaulting them or some Black person assaulting them, even though that they were there to get a rise, to push people to that point of where logic has gone out the window and physical altercation arises.
Right. That's what they want. They want to be able to monetize our discomfort. They want to monetize our words. They want to monetize our suffering. For one, it's funny to them. These men get to get a laugh and a rise out of somebody being as miserable as they are.
Yeah.
Because deep down inside, they are 2 seconds away from killing themselves. Right? They are at their wits' end. They were promised something. They were promised manhood and a life and an American dream, and they don't have it because they gave it away to men who told them to give it to them. You know? And so they're feeling emasculated by their own actions.
Yeah.
And so they have to antagonize people because if they stop feeling like other people are feeling as bad as them, the end will be with their death. Because we see it, men killing themselves at a much higher rate because they do not have access to the emotional maturity or the resources to heal or be better.
Yeah.
And so these men come out there and they do these horrible things. They say these horrible things and they want you to react and they film it. And so the best thing that you can do, ignore them, drown them out, certainly. Play somebody that last year, somebody was there, was a speaker, and they played music the entire time. If you are playing copyrighted music loud enough, they cannot cut that out of the audio.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
They cannot use that footage on social media because it is against it's copyrighted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they go home and they don't make money for that day. And the goal is for them to never make money ever again on our content, on us.
Right.
Anywhere they are, they go out and they protest abortion at
Planned Parenthoods.
They at art. They do art walk, and they go down there and they hold up signs blaming women for healthcare choices, and they use that footage. There needs to be copyrighted music at all times because if it becomes not lucrative for them, and they're not getting content, they're not getting reactions, they don't get to feel gratified that they made a woman feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
They'll stop doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll go back home and get online with their friends and just make nasty jokes, they'll stop coming out in public. And that would be the goal.
Yeah, you said send them home hungry.
Send them home hungry.
Send them home hungry. But there's two people or entities that have the time of day to basically attack any sort of platform, whether it be big or small, because they're playing their music. And that is Beyonce and Disney.
Disney, yeah.
They have
Disney
they
always.
have time.
Mm-hmm.
They have time. They are both billion-dollar industries, and I will say that Beyonce's whole team is a billion-dollar industry. They have time.
Yeah.
They have people scouring the internet just to see if someone is playing their music and whether if it falls in the lines of whether they support it or not. And if they don't support it, then best believe they're going to be, hey, cease and desist.
Yeah.
Cease and desist. So yeah, if you're at any sort of event or function and there are protesters, Beyonce or Disney, and I promise
Mix
you
them
they
together.
and I promise you they won't have none of it.
Yeah, play one right after the other.
They won't have none
Up
of
in
it.
the club, just stop them.
Stop them. Yep,
And
absolutely.
Sometimes you look at them in the eye, and I know we talked earlier about they might be wanting to join in, but they don't know how. But in that moment, they've not come around to it, and they're not going to come around to it. Something will have to happen to force them to take a hard look in the mirror. But until then, they are the most dangerous people imaginable.
Absolutely.
A man who feels cornered is dangerous. Those men would kill you.
Right.
If it meant that they could get away with it and it might make them feel good.
Yeah. You'd be safer with a bear in the woods.
Right. They may come around someday and be like, you know what? I'm tired of pretending. But until then, they're not people.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
and people don't like when I say that. They don't like when I say that I call them subhuman. They say that to us all the time.
All the time.
They don't think that we deserve to be alive.
They don't think that we're human. Period. Not alone a sub. At least you're being respectful about it.
Right. That's what I say. They ask me a question. I say, you're not a person, and they're like, oh, I feel loved. I don't love you.
I don't love you.
I don't think you're a person.
This love isn't for you.
Right.
This love ain't for you.
The world would be a better place if you didn't exist.
Right.
And that seems so harsh and so mean, but we're not here to be nice anymore.
Absolutely not.
They want to kill us.
Right. Why come to an event with hate in your heart and that's coming out of your mouth and expect for those that you're spouting it to not give it back?
Mm-hmm.
Why expect, I feel love. You came here to spread hate, baby. It's coming back to you.
So the tolerant left. I don't tolerate anything.
Yeah, I'm not tolerating anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're protected right now.
Right.
You are protected right now. We're not.
That should speak volumes as they came to Pride and they left unscathed. They left. Nobody hurt them. Nobody shot at them. Nobody did anything. You let a drag queen go to a biker bar,
or let a trans person enter a restroom.
Right. You let a queer person go somewhere that is conservative coded. They might not walk out of there without being hurt.
Right.
I remember one of the most painful. I've never forgot this moment. I was riding in the car with my dad. And he said, "I got to play a song for you. It's so funny." And he played it, and it was an old country song about two men. They went to a bar, and it's a painful memory. But they went to this bar, and they were drinking, and his friend was talking to a lady, and they were just chit chatting. And over the course of the song, they start noticing things that feel off. And one of the punchlines is he notices that hey, that's not a woman, that's not a real woman, And so he's like, that's a man who's hitting on you. And so they end up like smashing, I think they like smash a bottle on her face, and they start fist fighting everybody in the bar. And like they just hurting people, just getting out of there. Nobody did nothing to them. And they're just raising hell because, oh, look at all this. Look, we got tricked. We came in here, we got tricked by all these people, all these sissies, And so they're fighting their way out. And I remember my dad laughing about that. Like, oh, that's crazy, right? How funny is that? And I'm just thinking, how awful.
Right.
They find, like,
they are finding joy in that.
Right. Like, they to them, those are not humans. They're not people. They are just they're demons. They're monsters.
Yeah.
You have a drag queen or a trans woman in a bar that you came to in a safe space, and you started hitting on them, and you don't like it, and so you start assaulting her.
Right. So you assault her. That's your result. That's the conclusion that you came to.
And that's the punchline.
Right.
And that's the comedy to it.
Right.
And it's just, the kind of thing that they find funny is the harm and pain that we face.
Yeah.
And I just that always rolls around in my head every so often when I'm thinking about they get to come to Pride and they're chanting Pride, drowning them out. And they go home safe and they sleep in their beds and they think we did a good thing today. But you let a queer person go to the wrong town at the wrong time of day.
Yep.
They might not make it out. You let a person of color go to the wrong southern town after the sun goes down. They might not make it out.
Right.
But they want to call us the violent ones because we're not being nice to your face.
Right.
Save it.
What would you like to see change in the future? What do you want? What do you want us to progress and get to? What's a goal you have in mind?
I would really love to see like queerness to be less like tokenized, especially like in like media, whether that's like news media or even like TV or movies. Like instead of having token queer characters and these big like stories that surround that, I would love to see it being just like a part of our culture.
Yeah, I saw a video. It's another coming out story, and I'm tired of seeing it a little bit. I don't want it to be a novelty. That's so fair. I don't want to see a coming out. I want it to be your kid is who they are the entire time, and if they're gay, they're gay. If they're trans, they're trans. It's not a big.
I just got goosebumps, babe. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Coming out stories can be so beautiful, and they've been a big part of queer history. But I want to get to a place where we just are who we are.
Yeah, let's make that queer history. Let's leave it in queer. I love that.
And that is our future. Our future should be queerness as normal.
Right.
Because I've been focused on that lately. Queerness is normal because this is my normal.
Yeah.
I sometimes I'm doing crazy things to some people. Like I see a 6 foot tall man in a wig and I'm like, hey girl, just these things are so normal to me in my life. And other people, it's not their normal, but I also don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't give a damn if you find it crazy. Your normal is not my normal,
Thank you.
And so I'm honestly, I'm so tired of thinking about, how do you look in a certain space? How do you, are you accepted here? Is it okay to be as loud as you want to be, as queer as you want to be? Because it should be fine anywhere you go because it is my normal. It is what my life is. And I am sick of seeing media revolving around like queer trauma.
Yeah.
I would love to leave that in the past. And we move into a world where are you gay or are you not gay? As soon as you're ready to tell us, we'll know. And it's not a big deal.
I would love to see a celebration of diversity, period.
Mm.
A world to where these different celebrations can happen almost simultaneously and they all be appreciated.
Yeah.
Or utopia where we don't need these things.
Right. It becomes obsolete.
It becomes obsolete. And that's not to say that we don't forget our past and forget our history, but we have matured past the thought of what makes us different. And we start thinking as one being the human race.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than, difference in not just sexuality or religion or whatever the case may be or culture, none of that shit matters anymore. None of that shit matters anymore. And people are living their best life, their authentic life, no matter what that means to them.
Right.
And people are welcoming to that. That would be ideal. However, do I think we will ever get there? Probably not.
Right.
Probably not, because we as people need to feel some sort of drive that singles us out, or we stand out from, the rest of the crowd, when odds are you don't necessarily have to. But we have that drive that's embedded into us to stick out, stand out, and be different.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be different. But just because you're different from me doesn't mean that my different is bad and yours isn't.
Right.
You know,
Right. Because you're different might be boring as hell to me.
right? But
probably
you know
is.
what? You go do that, girl.
But
Go
be
piss,
boring.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're boring. It's good for you.
yeah.
Another kind of diversity I want to see. I want to see a world that's as diverse as the pictures of the pools in the Walmart. Because have you seen those?
No, we just kept walking past it. We couldn't afford it.
Well, you walk by those and it's like every demographic represented in that 8-foot pool. Like it is diverse as
And
hell.
you said, who's related to who?
Right.
Yeah.
You've got like a white family and one full-grown black man, and they have like an Asian child, and it's like a family. You know.
said, wow.
Yeah, this is just a friend group.
Wow.
Literally, that's diversity. The world is falling apart and crumbling, but you know where to go to be represented? Pool photo.
Right. You said, I know that potluck is good.
Mm.
Yeah, I know it's flavorful.
It's a cultural meal.
Yeah, just
that's so fun. So what's what we're working towards?
Please.
Can we get there? Pool says we can.
Right. Right.
And the bigger the pool gets,
the bigger
more
the party.
diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll start including other kinds of people.
Wow.
Wow. I love that. But Pride, it has a future.
Yeah.
We have a future. It feels bleak, but there always is a future. I saw, it was a thought experiment a while ago. A guy said, he thought it was so clever, and he's just a stupid man. He said, you put a bunch of gay people on an island and a bunch of straight people on an island, and the gay people after a generation, they're all gone, all dead. But you got straight people on an island, and they thrive. And like all the gay people just gone. And I'm like, but you fucking moron, where did the gay people come from? Because I know you and we've tried it to no avail. You know? So it must have came from somewhere else.
It came from somewhere else.
Because you got an island full of straight people, and guess what? You got one generation after that, just under the palm trees, you know? Just Kylie Minogue playing on the island.
That's dropping from a palm tree.
Yeah, coconut. Use coconut.
Using coconut's mine. Yeah.
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 That's the thing, is that we exist because they can't get rid of us. And they never will be able to get rid of us, no matter what. They can hurt a lot of us, but after us, there will be more and more and more, and there always will be. And so there's always a future to fight for.
Right.
And we have to do that.
Yeah, they'll keep making us.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
They'll keep making us.
Yeah.
So Pride is going to be, it's got to be big. It's going to have to go hard this year.
Yeah.
You'll have to go out there and go to it, be a part of it, and really sit with the essence of what it is supposed to be.
Yes.
What it was always meant to be.
Absolutely.
Which is a protest to change the world, to make our voices so loud that they cannot ignore us.
Yeah.
And to ignore us would be dangerous.
Right. Would be detrimental to them.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you don't like us, you don't get our dollars.
Yeah.
You don't want to give us rights, we'll take them from you.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to have to be. And they don't like that. They don't have to defend what they've taken. They don't want to have to push back and use force to keep it. They want to use force to keep you down. But if we want it, we're going to have to take it back.
Yep.
And this year, this June, we got a lot of stuff to take back. It's true. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah. One of the biggest things that Pride means to me is having community. And one of those things is supporting said community. So supporting your local resources, your local nonprofits, your local clinics, local businesses, shopping local, spending your dollars in local mom and pop shops, or like I said, clinics and things like that. Just not expecting your community to be there for you if you're not there for the community. If you want to be a part of the community, be a part of the community, but also support that community. Because like I said before, prides are getting small. Prides are getting small. And in that same breath, prides are being canceled.
Yeah.
Because funding has been cut from them. And if that in itself doesn't show you the seriousness of what it takes to put on a show, basically, then I don't know how much more plainer it can get, but that's all the more reason for you to be involved and to support your community, because we know that the government isn't, corporations aren't. And who else is going to do it, we should be the ones to step up to the plate and take care of our own, because now we need each other's support more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So be a part of Pride. Don't just show up. If you can volunteer. If you can spread the word, give $1, and it's going to take the community as a whole to keep Pride what it is and to keep Pride around. So just get involved as much as you can.
Just show up. Yeah. That's the important thing, is if you want something to exist, you've got to support it.
Yeah.
You've got to help it exist.
Yeah.
Because you can't think, oh, that's a fun event, I'm glad they're doing that, and not go to it. It won't be around forever.
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
can't think that's a fun business and not go there, because they can't survive.
They can't survive.
A thought of it being fun.
Right. They can't just survive off of likes and shares on post.
Thank you all. So but yes, Pride is important this year more than ever. It's important because we are in so much danger, and I truly believe next year it's going to be even harder, and the year after that it's even harder. And something's got to change fast.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be worse and worse and worse. So we have to be prepared and find your people quickly and have your plan in place, because it's getting down to the wire of getting things back to where they need to be. And it's going to be a hard road.
Yeah.
And this protest is the first step of many. But thank you all so much for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed this. I really enjoyed talking to those people and hearing what the community had to say, and just chatting with them and learning and finding out that there are still good people out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love to hear it.
We love to see it.
We do. Well, I have been Olivia Lycan.
And I'm Indya Naomi.
Join us next Wednesday for a brand new episode of Queen Versus. But until then, goodbye forever.